What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Welcome to another Marriage Mondays, where we spend Mondays talking about marriage. My name's Amir.
My name is Kamara.
And today, we're going to talk about them in-laws.
In-laws?
In-laws. What's the first thing?
First thing is, should you even move in with your in-laws? What do you think? Should you move in with your in-laws? I think there's good and bad. I asked you what you think, and then I'm over here just like interrupting.
Just keep going, babe.
I think that there's good and bad with moving in your in-laws, depending on like one's parents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if your parents have a history of being kind of like crazy towards their children-in-law, then it's like you don't want your wife or your husband to move in with your parents.
I think that when you first get into a marriage, you're in such a volatile state that moving in with your parents and stuff just adds a lot more instability, right? Like, there's so much more confrontation that can have.
A lot more pressure, too.
Right? You're in a judgmental environment, right? Like, her family's doing stuff, and you're thinking, man, these people are nasty. Like, what's up? You know? or you're doing stuff, and they're like, this dude is trite. So there's that dynamic, and then the way you interact with your spouse, you know, your family's not going to approve, right? It just immediately they're going to be like, oh, he should be able to treat you better, right? You'll never be able to live up to a family's expectations of how you should be treating their child, right? They have their own religious beliefs, right? Their own.
You mean like cultural beliefs? I don't understand what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that, like, for instance, some families, they call the adhan. Other families don't call the adhan in the house, right? So if you're a guy and you're not calling the adhan, you know, the family's like, yo, this dude isn't about that deen.
Unless you are calling the adhan and they're like, hey, this is my house. I call the adhan in this house. Like, you can't be stepping up to me calling the adhan in my house.
Or they're like, no, we don't call the adhan here because it's called at the masjid. So it's like little stuff like that. If you're only living with your wife or your husband, you don't got to deal with that. You know, It's just you and them.
Mm-hmm. I hear good stories about people living with their in-laws, and you know, it's just like this wonderful experience. And then again, these stories, they've only been like, you know, recently living. I don't know, like the whole story. I mean, I talked to people 7 years plus, and they were like, I'm so glad I moved out of my in-laws' house. Everyone
wants their own place, so it'd probably be almost zero that would be like, man, I wish I lived with my in-laws again. You know? So there can be good because, for instance, if someone gets married really young and they're not in a position to afford their own place.
Oh, yeah, that stability that you get living with your parents.
So in the family, you guys can link up, and it's a good situation, right? But if you guys are fully grown, you know, you're in your late 20s, right? Living with mom and dad, there might be a little bit of issues.
There might be a lot of issues. Let's talk about how you talk to your spouse about telling them that their parents are slightly crazy and they're just controlling their marriage and they're getting in the way of, you know, your marriage like really flourishing and blossoming into its own thing.
When you get married, everyone has their opinion.
Everyone else has an opinion of how, like, what your role should be and how you should be doing that role, you know? Especially the older generation, they got some interesting stuff about what makes a wife, what makes a husband, you know, what makes a couple,
The wife's got to cook, clean, make sure that she's doing the laundry. Husband just goes to work and come home. But obviously, you know, we're in the 21st century. This is the millennial generation.
Yeah. We do things our own way.
Yeah, we do things our way. Let all those old people know. This is the millennial world right now.
Yeah, what popped in my mind was my dad's voice.
What?
But what does Allah say? And before we continue, we're not saying like millennials are going to go against the Quran and Sunnah when it comes to a marriage.
Yeah.
That's not what we're saying at all. So I don't want people to assume like, oh, well, they're making up their own rules. That's not it at all. A marriage is a marriage, and you're able to operate your marriage according to the Quran and Sunnah. But there's no like, I wouldn't say that there's no like. I
mean, the older generation, they were dealing with a lot more. They were growing up in a different situation than we were growing up in. So, you know, listen to the advice that the old individuals give you, but know that they live their life and we got to live ours.
Yeah, different times call for different measures.
Exactly.
Anyway, so how do you tell your spouse that their family is crazy?
The first thing, I'm pretty straight.
Oh gosh, too straightforward.
I just tell them like,
yo, your family's crazy.
Or I'll tell it to the spouse. I'll tell it to their face like, look, no, like you guys are tripping, you know? Like as a man, I think that you should be upfront.
Okay, but there's a difference between being upfront and being rude, so people need to know the difference. Okay,
yeah,
I mean, because you can't just be going up to someone and be like, you know, they're like, hey, I need you guys to, like, say, you know, like your mom comes up to us and she's like, hey, Kamar, I need you to watch the kids. I'll be right back. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, no, take your own kids. Like, you know, you got to be able to say, oh, I can't right now. You know, I'm busy. I have stuff to do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to be respectful, right?
You're saying you got to go and be like, no, I'm a grown man. I do what I want. Like, no, I'm a grown woman. Take your own kids. Like,
no, but if they're trying to tell you how to run your household, you know, you got to be straight up and be able to stand your ground and look them in the eye and say, this is my house.
Okay, that could come off very, very disrespectful. So it's like you have to be careful. You can't just be going up to people and be
someone's like, what does Allah say? Allah says this is my house.
Like I said, you have to be careful. You can't. Okay.
All right, I'm joking.
You can't just be listening to Amir, you guys. Amir's gonna get you in trouble with your in-laws.
Nah, man, I'm telling them straight up. Like, listen, you have to be able to build up respect. You have respect for them, and they'll have respect for you. But if you're bending to everything that they say, then how can anyone build respect for you? Like you're just taking a knee, you know?
No, I think it's good to involve the spouse into it, you know? Just tell them like, you know, Amir, I think you need to talk to your mom about her taking, you know, tell her like, you know, I can't really take the kids. You know, something like that. Mm-hmm. Like you tell her.
Yeah, that's definitely. I like your approach, but my approach is more straight up front, right?
You're trying to resolve a problem with like your in-laws and like, you know, getting your spouse involved. That everyone should be there who's affected by this.
Some sort of intervention with your parents. Good luck with that, actually. Intervention with your parents. Yeah, right.
But I mean, if you have something to say, I think it's good to get the, you know, both parties. Like maybe go out for lunch or something. Be like, hey.
Interventions with parents never work. Like,
and how would you suggest this?
I think that what we said prior is better, right? Either you, like your spouse confronts her parents, or you like talk to her parents. Because interventions, that's just, it's not gonna work. Like, because because you and your spouse have to be against someone's parents,
true,
or something like that, and it's
true.
That's
not gonna work.
You're not gonna win.
You're gonna get disowned.
No.
So yeah, so let's just say it's best that you either talk to your spouse, talk to their parents, or you talk to their parents directly. Not every in-law is crazy. Not every in-law is going to give you a problem. So I don't think we should scare the people to make them feel like, oh my gosh, when I get married, my in-laws are going to be crazy. Because not all in-laws are like that.
If they think that they're crazy though, then when they're like, oh man, my in-laws are easy to deal with, they're like happy and they're rejoicing.
Oh, so they should like automatically assume your in-laws are crazy unless proven otherwise?
If you assume the worst, then you can't, when a situation happens, you know it'll be better.
You are so funny.
Mm-hmm.
You're not like an optimist.
I am optimistic.
That's not an optimistic point of view. Like that's not an optimistic way of thinking.
I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist, you know?
I think you're a realist, but everything at the end is just like alhamdulillah. So it's like a real alhamdulillah.
No, I'm saying for them, if they're assuming that everything is gonna, like, if they're assuming that you're gonna have struggles and things like that, like people think that your first year of marriage is gonna be like really hard, right? But for a lot of people, that first year is a breeze.
I don't know, but I feel like if you create this idea that it's going to be difficult, you're going to make it difficult. If you think your in-laws are crazy, every little thing you're going to be like, oh my God, they said this to me. They want me to cook for my husband. They're crazy, you know? Like,
yeah, you definitely. Yeah, I think that's
a valid point.
Yeah, it is a good point.
It's like that.
Which is why you never. If you never take someone completely serious, right? You see what I'm saying? Like you hear what they're saying, but you're like, all right, okay. Like someone's talking, they're telling you all these things. You're like, all right, alhamdulillah. You just sit there, look at them in their eyes. This is what Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did out of respect, right? He turned his shoulders and he faced that individual and he made eye contact. And you listen, right? That allows you to actually take in what they're saying, and you say, okay, yep, and then you move on with your life.
Hold on, were we finished talking about how not every in-law is crazy? How sometimes you get really good in-laws and you have zero problems?
Yeah, man, our in-laws have problems.
What are you talking about? Our in-laws are fine.
Man, they all got their issues.
Of course, everyone's going to have issues, but our in-laws are not butted into our marriages like that, butted into our business.
Yeah. That's because we're really,
we live far apart.
They're not all crazy.
Not all crazy.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I wasn't going to say anything.
You said something about manage the in-laws. What were you going to say next?
The next thing that we're going to talk about is how to manage your in-laws so that you can try your best to guarantee a good relationship with them.
I feel like this is like you saying how to mind control your in-laws. Is that what it said?
No.
About
this is
getting into their mind?
No, they don't. I can't teach everyone my secrets. Like this is on
YouTube?
YouTube, I got to keep the juice for myself, Keep the juice and the sauce. The number one rule is that you want to keep things within your household. Like keep things, keep your private life private. You will have issues, right? And you have to be able to work those things out together, right? And by running to your in-laws and things like that, your family starts to have a negative view towards this individual. And once your family has this view towards them, there's almost nothing that you can do to.
Oh yeah, and then when you bring them to like dinners and stuff, man,
they're looking at you, right? So if you keep your private life private, right, that will help you to maintain a good relationship with them. Also, calling them every now and then, right? That's always good. Texting them if they're texters, like you might just say, "Hey, salams."
That's one that you want to find out, like before you guys get married, if either that's the type of family that really needs to phone calls in order to feel like, so they don't feel disrespected. Because I remember when Amir and I was getting married, I was like, "Listen, I'm not a big phone person, so how often is your mom expecting me to call her? Because I barely call my own family.
Yeah,
like." My family is not a big phone person kind of family.
Right.
So we would like to see each other in person. But we're not phone people. So his family, they're phone people.
Like as long as they see each other like maybe once a month or they like each other's photos on Instagram, they're good. Right?
How to develop a relationship with your in-laws.
What else can you do? Ramadan is the best time to build a good relation with your in-laws. Right.
That is.
It is because you can.
Bonding with anyone.
Right. It's a great time to, have a sleepover, wake up for Fajr, and make good sahur. Inshallah, make good sahur.
Why are you emphasizing that? Do I make bad ones or something?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you don't make good sahur, it could be a
disaster.
Yeah, I mean, like who wants to come back to your house if you're gonna make them some bad sahur?
But yeah, Ramadan's also a good way, and also having like family dinners and bringing the families together. But how close do the families have to be? I don't think the families have to be BFFs. I don't think the two families have to talk all the time. Like my cousin and his cousin, they don't have to be friends. It's like that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Also, you need to make sure that you don't like when it comes to interaction with your in-laws, you don't gotta talk to all these people. Like Kamar has like a lot of brothers and sisters. I don't talk to any of them.
Hold on. First, wait. Hold on. You're going to give people some bad advice because that's immediate family. My family's just big and they're just everywhere. Yeah, so that doesn't count. Count.
What I'm saying is that, like for instance, like talking to their mom and their father, their grandparents, that's okay. But when it's like, oh, I got to talk to my brother, sister, you don't have to really be super connected with all of those individuals.
That's not what I was saying. I think it's great to be connected with your brother, with your brother-in-laws if you're a guy and your sister-in-laws.
Yeah, it is, but it's not something that's the like there's a tier, right? It's like parents, you know, and then under that,
Okay, hold on. But how would you feel if like Aisha and Asma's husband never like talked to you?
Aisha, I mean, I wouldn't care as long as Aisha and Asma don't come to me crying about something, and I have to, you know.
And we're during like our family dinners with like Edward and Tarek and having to talk to them.
So hold on, how often are you talking to these guys?
And that's what I said, during family dinners.
Hold on, you like to talk to...
My God, I knew you were gonna do that. I knew you were gonna do that.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. You gotta have a hierarchy, and your sister's husband is not really on that hierarchy of people. You know,
I like to talk to Aisha and Asma. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know, like
I mean, it's because we just went over to Nana's house and everyone was there.
Yeah, it was great. Like when you're in group settings,
that's
right?
That's what I said. It was in group settings. I said at dinners.
No, you emphasize like, no, I like having a relationship with my sister's husbands. It's like,
that's not. Oh my God, you're like, making this out. Oh, you're making this crazy.
Man, yeah, you made it crazy.
You're making this crazy.
You said it, babe. You said it. I didn't say it. Listen, I didn't say, man, I can't wait to talk to Kamar's sisters.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said, oh my God, I hate when you do this.
That's nuts, man. I've never even mentioned like, oh yeah, man, it's great having a relationship with Nanas and Lena. Like, what is going on? What is this?
That's not what I'm saying.
You know what?
That's not what I'm saying.
This is exactly, man. You know what? Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up.
That's not what I'm saying. Now you're gonna have people commenting the thing. Come on, did you know that those brothers are not your real brothers, and it is not halal for you to be interacting with them? It's like I'm not interacting with them. I'm not like sitting down like, hey Edward, how are you doing today? Like, congratulations on having a child, and hey Tarek, what are you doing? Congratulations on being in school and being a good husband to my sister. Like, that's not what it is. It's in a group setting, talking to them, talking to your in-laws, talking to your family. I like having those group settings where all the family is coming together.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't say that there's nothing wrong with you liking those group settings. I just thought that it was very interesting that you emphasized being able to communicate with Tarek and Edward.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Babe. We're gonna have to talk about this off camera.
Oh my God.
All right.
I think we're done.
We're done, babe?
I think we're done. You're editing this video.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I did it last time.
No, I paid you to do it last time, remember?
Oh, I remember that too. I'm not giving you a high five. We're done.
All right. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Subscribe, babe. Say it.
Subscribe.
Michigan. Stuck for the love.